This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Meghan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I was thinking that this was going to originally be a video. I mean, obviously it is going to get uploaded onto YouTube. But, no, I was going to use, like, OBS to record this, but I was like, you know what, nah, man, because there'll be days where I'll be, slacking when it comes to, podcast episodes and be having to record stuff at the last minute. So, yeah, that's why this is in a podcast format. It was going to originally be a, video format, but yeah, man, I'll be slacking, and it's like with videos, like I always got videos that I can post, but yeah, with podcast episodes, like I said, there'd be some days where I, be a little, not late, but just, yeah, I just ain't, I don't have no content and stuff, but no, anyways, I wanted to, cause I did do a video where I was comparing, the Division 1 and 2, and then I got to thinking about it in that video where I could do some form of content where I, compare Destiny 1 and 2 to, the Division 1 and 2 overall, which series would be better. And, yeah, pretty much, long story short, we're going to have to give this to the Division. The reason why I say the Division, and even though Destiny 1 out of all of the games will probably be my favorite because of the content, and not Ubisoft, but Bungie, they wasn't changing nothing. Like, they wasn't trying to make this game fit in with other games. So that's why I would say that Destiny 1, between Destiny 1 and 2, Destiny 1 would definitely be the better game. But out of all of the games altogether, yeah, man, Destiny, every time when a DLC or just anything's related to that game, well, it was mainly the DLCs, but yeah, anytime when a DLC came out with Destiny 1, always talked about. And when the Taken King had came out, it pretty much, you were getting Destiny 1.5. Like, I felt like that was a modern, at the time being, that was a modern version of Rockstar Games when they released Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition and then Dub Edition Remix. Like, you pretty much got a whole new video game. So yeah, when the Taken King DLC had came out, that was one of those DLCs that you had to experience it for the first time when it was coming out. Like, I think because at the time, well, no, because that game came out in 2014. So I think by the time when that DLC came out, overall, regardless, I was unemployed and I did have the funds. I think I did trade in some games. Because I'm trying to think, when did that Taken King DLC come out? Because it definitely came out after 2014. Hold on for a second. When did Destiny the Taken King come out? Oh, so it was like, yeah, so I think at that time I was a full-time content creator by that time, but I don't think I hadn't received a check yet from YouTube and stuff, because, no, actually I was partnered with, it was like Disney had this like company called Maker Max Studios or something like that, where it was like a content creating thing. And, yeah, it was, that was like a thing though to get signed to like some sort of content creating organization and stuff. And yeah, they were kind of slacking when it came to the, paychecks and stuff. So yeah, I just remember that time. I should, do a story time talking about that. But, anyways, so I remember when that DLC came out, and it pretty much put Destiny back on the map. It wasn't even like the game had fallen off, but it was lacking content, because yeah, after you beat the game, there wasn't really nothing else to do. And I remember I actually had beat that game relatively quick, but I would go back and play like the daily missions and the strikes and stuff, and just try to get whatever gear that I hadn't unlocked yet. So, but yeah, then when the Taken King DLC had came out, then it put you back in that position where it's like, like you had the original content for that game, then you had this new content. So you were playing the game left and right. Then they had like some other extra stuff come out with the game. Yeah, that's why I was like, Destiny 1, in my opinion, out of all 4 games, better game out of them all. And I know that that might be a little bit of a letdown for the Ubisoft fans, but I'm like, fam, I'm just speaking facts. Like, don't get me wrong, The Division 1 was a really good game. But yeah, when it came down between what game I was putting a lot of time into, I would have to say, like, by myself and with friends, Destiny 1. But just by myself, yeah, I was putting a lot of hours into The Division 1 and stuff. So, but yeah, between them 2 games, I'm like, yeah, couldn't go wrong with them, you know. Then fast forward, Destiny 2 and The Division 2 comes out. Now, with Destiny 2, I do feel like that it was the bigger game because, yeah, it was like Destiny 1 was such an amazing game, but I do feel like that it wasn't as big of a game than Destiny 1. You know, even with like the original content that Destiny 1 had, like there was still like a replayable factor with that game. And I remember when Destiny 2 had came out, like that was, I think, the whole reason on why I wanted to get involved with it. And it's funny because I have not yet did a raid in Destiny 2, but no, they had it where the raids, it was you can matchmake in there and stuff. Like they had like the feature where you could team up with other people. So yeah, they for some reason had it where you had to wait hours to team up with other people. And I'm like, fam, I'm not trying to wait no hours to team up with people. Why not? If you know that there's a bunch of people playing this game and they all trying to do a raid, why am I having to wait a certain amount of time to? I was like, no, I ain't trying to do that. I probably do have some videos uploaded where I was trying to do, especially like when Destiny 2 had originally came out. Yeah, there's probably some videos of me trying to do raids in there, and I was like, I'm not waiting, you know. So, but anyways, then the Division 2 came out. And yeah, I would say between Destiny 2 and the Division 2 had a lot more content. It just had a more replayable factor with that game versus with Destiny 2. It was just, you know, once when you beat the game, it just seemed like that there wasn't really nothing. It wasn't even like replayable like Destiny 1 and stuff. Like it just something was missing, you know. So then they did try to come out with some new DLCs, and then yeah, the Division 2, it just seemed like that they wasn't really well, they did come out with the one DLC, was like the Warlords of New York. And I was like, fam, that's not it. You know, like, if we talking DLCs, I'm like, that ain't it. At least with Destiny 2, I remember when the DLCs, when they started adding new planets and having more missions, still seemed like something was missing. But overall, though, I would say that it was a lot better than the DLC. Yeah, you probably would spend a little bit more money with Destiny, because I think Destiny 2 was $59.99. Then with the DLCs and all that stuff, it probably, yeah, so you was definitely spending well over $59.99 for that game. But I think the Division 2, when it came out, it might have been $59.99, but if not, it was $49.99. I think that was like the max or like the minimum price for that game. But then when they did that Warlords of New York DLC, I think that was like maybe an extra $10-15 or something like that. But it wasn't the same New York, and I think that was what the letdown was with the Division 2, and why I wasn't really playing that game for a little bit. Because yeah, when they did that Warlords of New York DLC, I'm thinking it was going to be New York like Division 1 New York. No, this was some like new and not improved New York, and I'm like, fam, this ain't it. This New York is a lot smaller. It was pretty much like one, because I'm trying to think, like, so like kind of like that middle portion of New York in the Division 1. That's pretty much what the Division 2. So I guess like I will be talking about these games in a way where it's like maybe if you guys hadn't played them yet and you're wondering which one should you start off with. But I guess like for somebody that has been following these games, and I'm doing it for everybody, you know, or doing this episode for everybody. But yeah, no, the Warlords of New York, that version of New York, it wasn't as good as New York in the Division 1, but nobody wasn't really playing the Division 1 because the Division 2 had came out, so that game pretty much fell off, and you would see maybe somebody here and there playing it and stuff, but I think a lot of people would argue and say that the Division 1 was a lot better than the Division 2. Then now switching over to Destiny. So Destiny 2 had came out, and yeah, the DLCs came out. It was okay-ish, but overall though, it was like, I don't know how to really, feel about this game. Like, something feels missing. But I had to say it was like that with both Destiny 2 and The Division 2. Just something felt missing with those games. So anyways, fast forward, out of nowhere, Bungie announces that Destiny 2 is going to be free to play. Oh, okay. Well, I guess, the money that I spent for it, it doesn't, I'm not going to get that money back in things, because I'm like, man, you go and, you buy a game and then it's like out of nowhere, they're making it free to play. Okay, well, I guess, no biggie, no problem. We're also going to remove the original content from the game. Whoa, wait a minute. Timeout, pause, flag on the play, 10-yard penalty. What do you mean that you guys are going to remove the original content from the game? I paid for that content. I paid for Destiny 2. So why is the content being removed? Still to this day, I will never understand why they removed the original content in Destiny 2, because you guys didn't do that for Destiny 1. Literally, no other game has done no stuff like that, where it's like they just out of nowhere removed the original content. Let me just look it up real quick and see, has a video game ever removed the original content? Let's just see real quick. Yes, many games have original content removed either due to development cuts, backlash, like the slave trade game The Ship. Why is there a slave game called The Ship? I have never heard of this game. Yeah, that's definitely a game where I am gonna have to look into that. That's an actual game. There's the Ship murder party. But is that the same game that they're talking about, or is that a different game? Hold on for a second. Let me see slave trade. There's no way possible that that's an actual. I don't know about all that. But anyways, or for live service games like Destiny 2 and Splitgate, which removed older campaigns. Splitgate had a campaign. I don't remember it having no. I maybe must have played it like later on and stuff, but yeah, no, I think that's probably the one and only game had a significant content cut due to development. So it sounds like with some of these games, like maybe it was delisted. They was like talking on Minecraft, but for the most part, I think, it looks like the only game that has ever had released content and then just out of nowhere got rid of it is Destiny. All these other games, this sounds like that they might have removed stuff. There was like its original game was shut down to focus on the sequel. That talking on that Splitgate game. But yeah, it's like, it seems like a lot of these games, that it was content that was planned, but then they out of nowhere decided to get rid of it. Destiny 2, on the other hand, so for those that hadn't played Destiny 2 during that time frame, so they had like this whole campaign where the Cabal in there pretty much was like taking over. So they did have like all the other enemies like Fallen, Taken. I'm trying to think, what's them ones that kind of look like skeletons almost? I can't think of their name, but anyways, they pretty much had all the Vex. They had pretty much all the enemies in the game, and then they had like these new version of the Cabal. It wasn't really new version of them, but I think they just had like on like different uniforms or something like that. So anyways, they have it set up where the home area or the safe house area in Destiny 1, like the tower. So they did have it where that's how it started off. I think actually, if you go to my gaming channel, you probably could find the videos of me playing Destiny 2 Destiny 2 for the first time. So anyways, they had it where you were at the tower, you get into this fight with the Cabal, they pretty much destroy the tower, then you gotta go to this like countryside like area. I don't even know if they have that area still in that game, but yeah, you go to this countryside area, that's pretty much like another version of the tower. I think they do, then they have it where eventually at the end of the game, so the current tower is like the new and improved tower, and that's pretty much unlocked at the end of the game, but now they have it where you pretty much can just go there, and I'm like, why would you guys get rid of that story? There was nothing wrong with it. You fight the Cabal, you fight some other enemies and stuff, and then then that's it. Then it's just a replayable. I think that's what went wrong with Destiny 2, is that they tried to make this game like other games where they wanted to have, and then so both games, The Division 2 and Destiny 2, they both added season passes. Like the not season, but like battle pass type stuff where it's like you gotta level up and unlock certain things. originally they had it where you can unlock everything. So then at some point in time, they decide to have it set up where it's like, no, you got to pay for it. And then, I think at some point in time, the Division 2, maybe they might have had that in the Division 1. At least I don't remember. But they started adding all this like you had to use actual money, because I think they do have it set up where you can earn the currency in the game to buy like cosmetic stuff. But yeah, they had it set up in the Division 2 where you had to like buy the cosmetics. If you didn't have like the enough in-game currency, you would have to use your actual money. But I think it's like super rare when they give you that currency and stuff. At least it's one of those things where I'm like, I would have to play the game throughout and stuff, but it just seems like it's a little difficult to earn that in-game currency to get some of the cosmetic stuff in there, because they have two different ways of buying it, but they only have it where that's set up for like, I guess, like the common cosmetic stuff. But then there's like the cool looking cosmetics where you would have to use like this point system. So they got coins and then they got points pretty much, and the points, those are the like where it's like, yeah, you would have to put your actual like card information in to buy those points, but you might be able to earn them through missions and stuff. I just have to check and see again. But then there's like the in-game currency where it's like, yeah, you just pretty much I think they have it set up where if you get duplicates of the same item and stuff, they do have it set up where it's you can like sell it, or it automatically sells, and then you get the in-game currency. That's how it's set up. But speaking of the content in the game, so like the weapons and the armor and all that other stuff. So pretty much with the Division, it was the same. Like there wasn't like no specialized armor, or like, I mean, there were some good weapons in the Division 2. They actually have this one light machine gun where I would say that that's probably the most wanted weapon in that game, because it's a light machine gun that you never have to reload. So it just continuously keeps shooting and stuff. And I'm like, man, I remember there was a time frame where I was playing this game day and night. Probably got those. If I haven't posted those streams, then them streams should be posted soon. But if not, then yeah, them streams might already be posted, of where I was playing these two missions left and right, day and night, playing it on the hardest, easiest difficulty, all the way up to the hardest difficulty. I'll have to say the Division 2 was probably the first game in years that I played where I played it on the hardest difficulty, because I was really trying my hardest to get this weapon. So they have, and there's only these two, the only missions that you had to play was these Warlords of New York missions that you had to play to get that weapon. So I was playing those missions left and right, day and night, back and forth, from easy to hard to having the challenges on and off. Did not get that weapon because I think they said it's like a 1% chance of getting that weapon. And I'm thinking to myself, why is the chances so low? Versus with Destiny, fam, I just recently got back into playing Destiny. There's at times where it feels like that they're just giving me exotics, whether it's armor, whether it's weapons. So I would say with the equipment that you get in Destiny, a lot better than the equipment that you get in the Division, because like, and in both games, because yeah, they have it set up where it's like you reach a level, so it's like you have to like make the area harder or something like that to get better gear in the game and stuff. But for the most part in the Division, they have it set up where it's like, I think now they're trying to have it where it's like you get better gear and better weapons and stuff, but for the most part, like, no, you don't really get nothing good in that game. And it's confusing to me, because I'm like, you can dump hours into that game. Like, hold on for a second, because I know with Destiny, at least on Steam, I put 94 hours into the game. That's just on my Steam account. I don't know how many hours I put into it on my Xbox account. And then with wait a minute, let me see real quick. Open up Ubisoft. But I didn't put some hours into both, because yeah, I done bought the games twice. I bought them on Xbox, because this was at the time when they wasn't really doing like that cross transfer stuff, or at least they didn't have it set up where you can play Destiny on PC. Well, I think with they had it set up on whatchamacallit, Steam and Xbox, but yeah, it wasn't set up. They have like a Avatar Frontiers of Pandora stuff for the Division, huh? But anyways, no, yeah, let me check the hours I put into. Okay, here we go. So game page, 44 hours. So I put 44 hours into the Division 2, and I put 94 hours. So fam, well over 100 hours. And at least with Destiny, I will say with them is that they do have it set up where you do get good stuff in there and things. But yeah, with the Division 2, for some reason, they have it set up where you don't get nothing good. And I'm like, fam, why am I playing this game then? So yeah, I would say that with what they offer in Destiny, but that's the thing though. So getting back to Destiny, they removed the content. I'm confused because I'm like, I paid for this content. Why are they doing this? So they changed up the whole story. They have it set up where it's like, it's pretty much they're trying to go based off of how the game originally started when you play Destiny 1, where you wake up on Earth, get into a shootout with some Fallen. And then after that, then they have it where you find a spaceship. But I think they did kind of change it up a little bit in Destiny 2. It might have been the same. It's been a while since I played the Destiny 2 version. But anyways, they do have it set up where it's like it's just, yeah, it's pretty much the same as Destiny 1. So then there's like pretty much like these like little like not tutorial missions, but these like getting started missions. And then eventually they have it set up where you have to buy the DLCs for the game, which is pretty much like, it's pretty much the price of a brand new video game. Like I think Destiny 1, when it came out, was like $39.99. Let me just see real quick the DLCs, because I got the DLCs on sale, because there was like, that's the only way of even playing the game and stuff. So the last DLC that they released, yeah, this Renegades DLC was $39.99, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, you can't, Destiny 1 might have been a little bit more, I don't know, but anyways, but it's like, you're charging the price of, and I think Arc Raiders and Helldivers, both of those games was $39.99. Now, yes, they do have it set up where there's not really a whole lot to do in them games, but they do have it where those games are replayable. Helldivers, I'm trying to think, how many hours have I put into that game? Because I do have that game installed. I've put 56.1 hours into that game. And that's one thing about it, is that I've never had an issue with the gameplay in that game. I think when it very first came out, it was a little bit difficult to get into the game. But as far as when you're actually playing it, yeah, I've never had an issue with playing that game. And they do have it set up where there's multiple different ways of playing it with all the different enemies and stuff. So, yeah, they have it where it's like the easiest difficulty all the way up to the hardest. And it ain't really hard. It's just that they spawn a lot of different enemies. I mean, then there are some like big enemies where it will take a little bit more bullets to take them out and stuff. And then with Arc Raiders, it's like, yeah, that game, $39.99 game. They do have missions. They have a bunch of different loot that you can find. Many ways of playing it, bunch of different, well, they don't have like a bunch of different areas, but they got like some areas that you could go to. But at least with that game, I think with Helldivers also, they have it where it's like whatever playable content that they plan on adding in the future, it's going to be free. The only thing I think you have to pay for in both games is the cosmetic stuff. And I think they said that too with Arc Raiders. The developers was like, the idea that the developers had for Helldivers, that's what inspired the idea behind Arc Raiders. So what I'm trying to figure out is that, why did Destiny pay attention to the wrong game? Because originally the competition with them was only the Division. But with Destiny, they're like, no, we want to compete with Call of Duty. We want to compete with this. We want to compete with that. But you guys forgot. So the things that they missed out on with Destiny 2 that they didn't, that they had in Destiny 1 was that they had the Sparrow racing. They didn't have that in Destiny 2. There were areas, I believe, because I think there was like and that's what I think what they should have did was all the areas that they had in Destiny 1, they should have re-added those areas into Destiny 2, expand them a little bit, change them up a little bit, but pretty much same exact thing with what they did with Destiny 1. Had it where it was a video game that you had to purchase, and then the DLCs was only like $10, $15. But they had it where the DLCs, because when you look at the Taken King DLC and you look at this Renegade DLC, completely different. No, so I did buy the last two DLCs for both games, and the Renegades DLC, and then this I think, what was this, like something Brooklyn or something like that with the Division. But hold on for a second. Additional content, Battle for Brooklyn. That was the name. I own this DLC, right? Yeah, I own it. I was like, okay, because they were just showing that I only Because, yeah, I was like, they said deluxe. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I could have sworn I bought that DLC. But anyways, but yeah, they only have 2 DLCs for the Division 2. So I will say that that's a plus on them. Because it's, yeah, and then on top of that, they do have it where it's like at a cheap price too. I think it's cheaper than the video game. Versus that to me just don't make no sense where it's like you release so the Destiny 2 is allegedly a free game, yet the DLCs cost more than the game itself. Because if the game is free, then the DLCs, it felt like that you should be more so getting stuff rather than giving. And I feel like that with Destiny 2, it's like I gave more than I received in that game. Now, like I said, they do have it where you get good gear in that game. But at the same time, I'm like, fam, it should be better. You know, they should have the original content. They should have pretty much been giving away content for free. Because my thing is this. If I want people to play my game, I definitely will have it where if it's whatever the price is, whether it's $39.99, $49.99, $59.99, $69.99, you're going to get a game that you can play. Not a game where it's like, oh, you can play it for a few months, have to wait for the next DLC, play it. No, I'm giving you guys the most replayable game. It's going to be pretty much one of those things where it's like, you know how like there's video games out there where it's like your favorite mission or something like that. Every mission is going to be your favorite mission. Every mission is going to be like, okay, I want to replay it for this Easter egg. I want to replay it to get this gear. Oh, there's an achievement where if you run throughout the map backwards and stuff, then you get an achievement. I'm gonna have it where there is multiple ways of playing each and every mission in the game, whether it's a racing game, a shooting game, whatever. So that's why I'm like, when I get into video game development, it's definitely gonna be one of those things where it's like he talked about it all this time, he finally did it, and he showcased all these developers. This is how you come out with a video game. All right, so. But anyways, yeah, but when Destiny is like, they just out of nowhere got rid of the DLCs, added these new DLCs, and it's like, I would have rather have just played what Destiny 2 was before. But then with the Division 2, now switching over to them, when they came out with DLCs, because they was like the Warlords of New York, it was all right. It was short, but it was all right. And then it seemed like after that, they just kind of wanted people to play the game. So they just kind of had it where it's like these free updates, different things to do. Pretty much like the map would reset itself. So if you had a control point and you took over it, so yeah, you'll be able to take over all the stuff again, replay the missions all over again. Had it where the enemies were a little bit different in the missions and stuff. And then they've released this battle for Brooklyn or something like that. Wasn't really a fan because that's the thing. They have it where some of the missions in the game is kind of unplayable by yourself. Now, if you are somebody that does play the game entirely by yourself, yeah, I would say that Destiny has pretty much both games have like their solo options, and then they have the options where it's like, yeah, you would have to play those games with people. And I don't mind, but at the same time, I'm like, fam, it shouldn't be like a person is forced to having to play the game with me. I should just be able to play the game by myself. But yeah, they got it set up on some old weird stuff where it's like you got to play the game with people. And I'm like, fam, I think that they definitely should have did that differently with the game where it's like Avid, where there's maybe some NPC teammates. That's one thing that is missing with both games. Or I feel like both games could relate to is that they don't have NPC teammates. So hopefully when they come out with a Destiny 3 and the Division 3, that's definitely something that they think about adding. But if not, then yeah, it's pretty much gonna be the same thing with them games too when they come out and stuff. But anyways, overall though, I know people probably would be asking that question, between those 4 games, which one should you get? So I will be saying it in multiple different ways of what games you should get and what games that you should avoid, I guess, depending on what you're really looking for in a game. So if you're looking for 2 really good games to play and they're replayable, get Destiny 1 and the Division 1. But if you're wanting to kind of just keep it within the same ballpark where it's like, no, I just only want to get like one series of games and just play those, then I would recommend getting the Division 1 and the Division 2. Both games, in my opinion, if you get both games, because I think they do have it where it's like a bundle thing that you could get on Steam, and it's pretty cheap. Yeah, they have like a Division bundle where actually I think that's because I already had bought it. So wait a minute, I think they do have it set up where the bundle is okay, there it goes. Okay, that's the actual price. So yeah, they have it set up where it's $53.98 if you wanted to get, but that's without the DLCs. And yeah, even without the DLCs, both games are still you can dump a lot of hours into them and stuff. I think it's just a few extra missions in the Division. And then with Destiny 1 is not even, so that's why I had to say I like the Division 1 and 2, is because the games are playable on both PC and console. Destiny 1 is only playable on console, and then Destiny 2 you can play it on PC. But it's just, yeah, the content in there, if you were to just go and just download the game and play whatever missions you can play for free, it's going to be extremely limited. Versus with the Division, it's like you do have some stuff that you could do in there. And they probably have it on one of those Steam Key websites. Hold on for a second. The Division Bundle Steam Key. Let's see how much it would cost. Yeah, so they got like a Division franchise, Ubisoft Connect. Actually, they don't even have none that you can get out. Like, yeah, they don't have it where it's like you can buy it. Oh, the item is out of stock. But overall though, yeah, you'll be pretty much spending less if you were to get the Division 1 and 2 than if you were to get Destiny, because I think Destiny 1, I think they still charge that the price of like of a old, because they have like the collection edition, which is actually, no, I take that back. It's actually cheaper. It's only $20, and that's if you get like all the DLCs and stuff. So yeah. They have it where you get Destiny 1, the first expansion, the second expansion, the Taken King, and then Rise of Iron, and that's only I guess they say it's only $19.99 and stuff. But yeah, because they're showing it on PlayStation, so it is only $19.99. But and then yeah, with Destiny 2, so if you were to get everything's for Destiny 2, or I guess like the whatever content is available. So if you were to buy that game right now on Steam, so they have it where, yeah, it's free to play, then you get the then they have like Destiny 2 Year of Prophecy, which is like Destiny 2 The Edge of Fate, where it's $39.99. It might be a different price, but pretty much if you were to get all the DLCs for the game, it's $504. So that's how much it would cost to get all the DLCs. They might have it where some cancels out because of it's like a repeated DLC and stuff. But yeah, let's just see real quick how much it. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't cancel out. Like, so no, because they have like the so it's kind of misleading if they have you buying the same stuff twice. Because it's like, yeah, some of it is like a copy. I wonder, hold on for a second. Let me open up Steam in an incognito and then try it like that. Because, yeah, it's kind of a little bit confusing when they have it set up the way it is. But, so, I would have to sign in to, okay, well, actually, okay, continue shopping. And then let's go back to the cart. So, it only shows, one. That's so weird. It's just overall, like I said, it's probably best if you get if you get Destiny, not Destiny, but the Division, because it's a lot cheaper. You know, you're not having to spend no $500 for no DLC and stuff. Even the most expensive DLCs for the game, which is like the bundles, not bundles, but it's like the deluxe version. So they have the Battle for Brooklyn Deluxe, which is $24.99, and then Warlords of New York. They only have one DLC of that. How much is that DLC? $29.99. So yeah, it's not so, and then the game itself, I wonder how much is that. Do they have like let's go to the store, and then where is the Division? Because it's $23.90, so it's $23. So yeah, pretty much you would be paying the price of a brand new video game, which is like $60-$70 or something. Because it's $23.99 right now on sale, but it's $29.99 outside of the sale. And then if you were, I'm clicking on it and it's not doing that. And I'm like, it's so weird. But they also do have it where you could play a demo of it, but. So they have like, all right, so here's all the different editions that they have. So they have the standard edition, which is $29.99, and it's but they got it right now on sale for $23.99. Most likely by the time when this podcast episode comes out, it might be outside of the sale, but that's just the standard edition, just with the base game. Then they got the gold edition, where it comes with the base game, Warlords of New York, Battle for Brooklyn, and then the level 40 boost, which is, I feel like I just added way too much boost to the boost and stuff to the word and things. But anyways, it's $59.99. And then they have the Ultimate Edition, where it comes with the base game, Warlords of New York, Battle for Brooklyn, level 40 boost, year 1 pass, ultimate pack, and then 1,000 credits, and that's $69.99. So yeah, do the math, people. I'm like, what game do you think is cheaper? And it's like, and that's just for, so if you were to get the Ultimate Edition for Destiny 2, or not Destiny, but I need to stop doing that. But if you get the Ultimate Edition for the Division 2, and then get the, let's see what the most expensive edition is, and then the Gold Edition for the Division 1, $49.99 for the Gold Edition, which comes with pretty much everything's, and then yeah, 60, so yeah, $100. And you get far more content with the Division, and content that's not getting deleted at that. You get far more content with the Division. So yeah, in my opinion, I would say the two best games out of the 4 is Destiny 1 with all of its content, and then the Division 1 with all of its content. But overall, series-wise, yeah, in my opinion, the Division series is it's a lot better and it's a lot cheaper, you know, so. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time, 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.